Today's session was about the defense opening its case in the manslaughter trial against former police officer Kareem Martinez. But before that happened, attorney Oscar Selgado recalled witness PC Claude Augustine, who is the driver of the police vehicle on the night of Laddie's shooting death. During that time, Selgado presented a statement made by Augustine a few days after the shooting, as well as the firearm logbook of the Placencia police station, to reveal that the police officer carried a police-issued gun as well as a personal firearm on his person when they responded to the distress call at the Placencia Beach Club on the night of July 14th, 2021. Fully conscious that the matter is still before the court, attorney Oscar Selgado spoke to the media about the defense's theory.
The Crown opened its case by saying to the court that the Crown will prove to the court through its 17 witnesses that Kareem Martinez acted unlawfully and without justification. That is the entire case for the Crown. The Crown will use its witnesses, had attempted to use the witnesses to prove that when Kareem Martinez fired his weapon, he did so unlawfully and without lawful justification. The defense has called one witness, but the defense had cross-examined all the witnesses that was called by the prosecution. And I think we have been able to establish, firstly, that Kareem Martinez and all the police that responded to the call from a security guard on the relevant date were acting in their lawful capacity as agents of the state.
That single witness for the defense was PC Irene Augustine, the diarist who was working at the Placencia police station. She was responsible for the logs placed within the police personnel logbook, as well as the firearm logbook between 4 p.m. and 12 midnight on July 14th. These were entered into evidence, but the defense opened its case with Justice Moore reading the accused his rights. Kareem Martinez chose to give a doc statement, which is an unsworn statement where no questions could be asked, but the judge can consider what he says when making her decision.
He said it was with this in mind, the call, that persons were in the area and one of them was suspicious and suspected to have had a firearm. So he responded with high alert, vigilance, that a person carried a firearm. He said he saw something with a shine, a flash. At this time, the police did not recognize who they were, did not know who they were, whether they were children, whether they were adults, etc. So the police acted with reasonable suspicion, and that is the catchword in law. Reasonable suspicion. We out here now, after the fact, can say, oh, it was unlawful, it was, etc. But what is important to the judge as the trial of fact?
Nobody is saying that there were more than one shots fired. There is no evidence that more than one shell was found on the scene, because shortly after the young man was pronounced dead at the polyclinic in Placencia, Officer Choco was brought into the picture. Shortly after, he takes Corporal Martinez, the accused, to the scene where this unfortunate incident occurred. They did a search. No doubt Corporal Martinez will say this and where I was and where I was standing and what had happened and so on. But this trial, there's no way the facts can be contorted, because one shell was found not long after a shot was fired. That's the first thing. So if that officer who you're referring to, who was really attempting to deceive and confuse the court, if he had taken for him 2 John Wayne guns and 1 rifle, it would make no difference, because every person who was present, including the beach club security officer who kicked off this whole thing by calling for police because he had seen people prowling around, no witness who was present had said there were 2 bangs, there were 3 bangs, there were 3. These are police officers, you know, there's no gunshot sound from firecracker. So, in terms of the evidence, which has not been refuted, not even challenged, 1 shot, 1 kill. A shot goes off, according to one of the witnesses, and the young man fell face down.
Laddie's father, Emil Bradley, says he wants justice for his son.
Why so much lies? You know, I'm very, very, very disappointed in these 4 police officers who are working that shift at night. You know, the least they could have done was come out and tell the truth, you know. It clearly shows how they're covering up for each other. I mean, the amount of irregularities that has been conducted by these police officers. Man, there was an officer in there, I'm sure the people responsible to make sure that they get disciplined, I will wait and to see the outcome. I don't want to make no noise yet. I want to see what I expect action to be taken against these officers.
Attorney Selgado says that the law must be applied to the facts.
There are posters all over the place with justice for Laddie, all these things, to remind the judge that as the trier of fact, she must divest herself from any emotion. No emotion for Laddie, no emotion for Corporal Martinez. Law is reason free from passion, free from emotions, so that the judge must apply only what was said in the court, and not what is seen on a television, not what is read in a newspaper, not what is seen on a bulletin board elsewhere on a sign somewhere.
The evidence is in my view, the evidence is strong. The judge is going to go over it over and over, as she always does, and apply the law to every step of the way.
Duane, Moody for News 5.